the recording. So yeah, just welcoming everyone again, and especially those who just joined in, and the new faces here to WIrfonCloud. As you all know, we started WIrfonCloud projects. We have 2 pioneer groups that actually joined, just came together to ensure that we have some kind of a trial phase and see how this looks like. So there is one team known as Team Serverless. They were working on an app. They have actually finished that project, and they'll be talking about it today. So yeah, there is a lot for us to hear from them. And I think without much to do, I don't need to go into it. They surely have everything ready. Just confirm to me, I don't know, who is presenting today, just to catch up. Please just come over and let me know so that who is presenting for Team Serverless.
I'm the one, Yvonne. Good
yeah,
evening.
great. Okay, great. Yvonne, nice having you there. Welcome again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll be listening to Yvonne, and Yvonne, just feel free when you are ready, share your screen and take it away from us, and let's hear what you guys did. So while Yvonne is about to share her screen, hi there, Stacy.
Just before they come in, Mr. Van, I'm so impressed and proud of the Team Serverless.
Right.
And we are really happy that WIrfonCloud is doing this project, and people have actually gone through it and they are presenting it to the house. So kudos to the Serverless team.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lady T. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. So.
Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. See. Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and yeah, welcome to this presentation. So we did this as a team, but then I am going to do the presentation. I'm not doing this alone. Dr. Vero is going to present the first part of the project, which is going to talk about how we did the project and how we came about everything. And I'm going to talk about the stages that we used to come up with our application. So as you know, this is a few months ago we started with a project known as the Serverless project, in which we built an application. So we are happy to present our application to you tonight, and we hope you enjoy it. Okay, Dr. Vero, if you are around, please is Dr. Vero there, please?
Yes, I'm there, Lady T.
Okay.
And, sorry, Mama E, I'm there. And
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thanks, Mama E, for giving me the floor, and a big thanks to the Serverless team for what we did together, and you do enjoy, and you'll be able to use to play a bit with the application. Next slide, please.
Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes, I can see your slide.
Okay, good.
So who of the project? So we used the Agile method to implement. We had a bunch backlog, making sure that we had our tasks defined.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can hear you.
By coordinating everyone in the group, then we had the developer group.
Your network is not good. Maybe, I don't know.
My network is not good.
No, you are breaking. We cannot hear you well.
Okay. Can you hear me better?
Not fully.
Yeah, it keeps going on and off.
What to do? I will see if I can talk through my phone. I will mute.
Okay, yeah, just quite okay. Let's just hold on from.
Please just excuse me for a minute. Let me get on my phone and I should be able to then, but you would have to let me in now.
Okay, that's fine. I think
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah. So I'll meet you on the other line. I hope.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Very well now.
Much better. Yeah.
Okay, great. So who was who of the project? In case some people missed it. So we had our product owner who was Banji Kango, and the product owner manages the product backlog, and he assigns, prepares the backlog, and then we will be assigned the task for each of the stages of the project. Then we had our Scrum Master, Colette Berry, who manages the Scrum process and tries to make sure that everything is done in the Scrum way. Then we had the developer group made up of Elvis Chila, Chair Jaire, Nyoyu Tata, Shay Timothy, Veronica Tamo, myself, and Yvonne Wisi. So in the absence of the product owner, Nyoyu Tata was acting as the assistant product owner. Next slide.
Okay.
So what was this project all about? So we implemented a serverless reminder application, and this application it's loading from an S3 bucket and running in browser, communicating with Lambda and the step functions via an API gateway endpoint. And using the application, we will be able to send reminders for Pet-Cuddle using email and SMS. So we were able to then configure these reminders using email and SMS. Next slide, please. So as you can see, this is the end stage of our application. So we have the application loading from an S3 bucket where we in browser and communicating to the through the API and the state machine via the API gateway. Here the Lambda and state machine using the API gateway, and it's going to send email and SMS notifications. Next slide. So the services used were, as you've seen in the architecture diagram there, S3, Amazon S3, AWS Step Functions, the API Gateway, Amazon Simple Notification Service, AWS Lambda, and AWS Simple Email Service. These were the services that were used. So how was the project done? Each developer had to implement each stage of the project in their own AWS account. And then one developer was then assigned to carry the task of implementing each stage of the project in our project account. So we had a project account, thanks to Nyoyu, because she's an AWS community builder. She was able to provide us with this account within her own account, where we were then not going to incur some costs. So you assign each of us access to her account, where we were able to log in. And that was going to be our main account, where each member of our team was going to implement the stage, which we call the project main stage. Yeah. So after you've implemented each stage of the project in your account, you then have the opportunity to implement based on the stage that it has been assigned to you in the project main account. And for this, we did it via using different sprints. So each project ran for 2 weeks, and each week, those 2 weeks were called the sprint. So we had 6 sprints, and those 6 sprints aligned with the stages of the project. For each sprint, we had a sprint planning session, which was about 30 minutes to 1 hour, where we assign our task for each of the sprint. Then each week we had sprint stand-ups on Wednesdays and Fridays that lasted for 15 minutes each. And during these stand-ups, we are kind of informing the team where we are at each stage of the project. And it was very important that we had these stand-ups so that we can gauge where we are with each stage of the project. Then after each sprint, we had a sprint review together with the sprint retrospective. So what we did at the sprint review is that we are looking at how we carried out our project for that sprint. So we discussed like what went well, what did not go well, what are we going to improve in the next sprint, and then just an overview of how the project was carried on with what went well, what did not go well, and how we are going to improve in our next sprint. And during the sprint review stroke retrospective, we took 1 to 2 hours, and that was done after every 2 weeks. So at the end of each sprint, once the developer who was assigned to carry out the task in the project account has finished the implementation of that stage, we will then close the sprint. So that's how we went about it. And on that note, I will give the floor to Yvonne to present to us what happened at each sprint. Thank you.
I was talking with my mic mute. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Vero. Thank you for that presentation. And before I start, I would really like to say that we should have really loved to see, we should have really loved you to see the way we implemented it in our AWS accounts, but due to time, we cannot do that. But at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give the floor to Elvis, just to show us how the outcome of the presentation, like the visual outcome of the presentation. And yeah, so our first sprint, what did we do? We reviewed our documentation. So all developers reviewed the documentations. And how did we do this? We watched the videos, and we read the instructions on what to do, because in each sprint we had to do, it was done in stages, so we had to review and watch and read the instructions on how to do that. And we also drew our own architecture. So the architecture you saw was the outcome of what we did, but it was really interesting drawing our own architecture. And we use this architectural tool icon is like a website on AWS, which is used for drawing architectures. It was really interesting knowing that something exists like that. And why is it not okay? In our second split, what did we do? So this is when we started our Pet-Cuddle-O-Tron application. And the outcome of the application at this stage was that, so the application was going to send reminder messages through SMS and email. So the first thing that we're supposed to do was to configure the simple email service. And this simple email service, we configured it, and then we created 2 email addresses and verified them. So we created an address, a sending address, and a customer address. And how did we verify this address? So when you create the email address, you are going to receive a link. And in this link, you have to click to verify the address to make sure, so that they make sure that it is your own address. So that is how we verified the addresses. And then we also configured an SMS, an SMS with a number. So we also put a number. We gave our number in which a link was also sent to us. And through this link, we also verified that the number was our number. So they want to make sure that the number that you put in is your own number, and that it is a number that you control. But then in this stage, sometimes it's a little bit tricky for some countries, because it's not as straightforward as in other countries. Like in the US, you need to create an origination number using this Amazon, using the pinpoint service. But when you create, but this number comes with additional costs. But when you create the number, you verify, and the process is the same like the number, like the other countries. So in the US, it's not very straightforward. So you have to use a pinpoint service to configure the SMS number. And this is the architecture of our Splint 2. So you see here, we had the simple notification service that we created, and then our customer address and the sending address. So that when the notification comes, then when this customer send a request, is going to get a notification through the SNS, the email service. And then in Splint, let's see. In Splint 3, so what was going to happen here is that the application was going to use the Lambda function to send emails on behalf of the serverless application. So in order for the application to use the Lambda function, we needed to create a Lambda function, and we needed to give permission to this Lambda function to send email through the simple email service and the simple notification service. So, and in order to do that, we created an IAM rule that was going to allow the Lambda function to interact with these services. So this is the architecture of Splint 3. So you see, yeah, so this is the Lambda function that we created. We added the Lambda function, and then we gave the IAM rule for the Lambda function to connect to send notifications to the simple email service. And this is what we did in Splint 4. So at this stage, this was like the core of our application. This was the backbone of our application because we needed to create a state machine. And the state machine at this stage was like what controlled our application. So the state machine controlled the flow of the application, and the state machine is responsible for interacting with other AWS services. So, and in order for the state machine to interact with other AWS services, what did we do? We also created an IAM rule for the state machine to interact with other AWS services. And what role did the state machine have? It could call a Lambda function, it could invoke a Lambda function, and it could interact directly with the SNS service. And when we created the state machine, so there is this thing, it has to first of all go to the time state. And from the time state, it chooses whether it's going to send notifications through emails only, SMS only, or through emails and SMS. I'm going to show you the visual presentation of this. So this is a state machine. So it's going to come here at the start state, and then it's going to come to the time state. But at the time state, it would depend on the time that you put for the state machine for the action to take place. So if you put, it would depend. It can be 1 day, it can be 10 days, it can be 1 week. And when it arrives at the time state, it's going to choose, it's going to go it's going to wait first for some minutes, and then it will go for the number of minutes that you choose. Like for us, we choose 120 minutes. So it's going to pulse for 120 minutes. Then it will come to the choice state. And also depending on how you want your client, or how the client wants to be notified. If the client wants to be notified through email only, then it's going to take the choice of email only. And if the client wants to be notified through the SMS only, it's going to take this choice. And if the client wants to be notified through the email and SMS, it's going to take this choice. So then the state machine will take the choice. And when it is executed, it's going to show that it's successful. So when it's green, you see that it's successful. It's really interesting looking at it, like, because you really see the visual, you see how successful your application is. And you see it comes to the choice state, then it chooses the email state, and then it goes to the next state, then it will go to the end. But if nothing happens, then it will come directly to no choice. And when it reaches no choice, you know that nothing was done. There was no execution and your state machine failed. Then you have to start to troubleshoot to see what happens. And it's really interesting looking at it. So this is the architecture of our fourth splint. And like I said, so here we created a state machine, and the state machine had to, it communicated directly with the SNS notification service. And here you still have the Lambda function. You still have everything like before. It's only that we added the state machine and the timer and the choices. So it will either choose the email state, the email only, the email and the SMS only, and then the SMS only. Okay, so in our splint 4, what we wanted to see at this splint 5, sorry, what we wanted to see at this stage was, so here at this stage, it was the front end API for the serverless. So we had to create the front end API API gateway for the serverless application. And this API gateway was supposed to load from an S3 bucket, which we are going to create in the next stage. And it was going to run on our browser and then communicate with the API gateway and the Lambda function and the Lambda function was going to be evoked to perform actions. So what did we do? We created a Lambda function that supported the API gateway. And and we also created a rule that that this Lambda function had to use. And then we created the API gateway, the resources of the API gateway, the methods, and then we deployed the method. So here is the architecture of our Fit splint. So we just added the API gateway, the API Lambda. So here, when our clients wants, hey, what did I do? Okay, I have to go back. Okay, sorry about that. So here, when our client wants to connect to our to the application, it's going to pass through the API gateway. The API gateway is going to evoke a Lambda function. Then the Lambda function is going to communicate with the state machine, and then the state machine is going to still go to the timer to ask and wait for the and then chooses how the notification is going to be sent, either email or through SMS or through email and SMS. So you notice that in each stage we added one complement or one service, which made the architecture more nicer. So this was the last splint, and this was splint 4. And in this splint, the outcome was we implemented a static front-end application and then tested the functionality of that application using an S3 bucket. And here we had a visual presentation of the state machines when it is really executed. So the diagram I showed you before, we also have it here to see how everything works when we have added all the complements and what we need for our state machine to work. And like I already said, we created an S3 bucket using a static hosting, and then we set it as publicly accessible. As you all know, when you host your website on S3 and you want it to be accessible or to be publicly accessible, you have to make it publicly accessible, because in the management console, when you go to the S3 console, you see that by default, it is not publicly accessible. So if you want it to be publicly accessible, you have to do it by yourself. And when we created the S3 bucket, then we uploaded these 4 files: the HTML file, the CSS file, the JS, and the Whisker image. So the HTML file, it just contained the definition of the front end website, and the CSS, it showed the style and the sheet that controls the look of the application. And this Whisker image was an image. It was just an image that when you open our website, our web application, you will see the image. And in this image, you were going to fill the information for the state machine to choose how you wanted your notifications to be made. So this is the architecture of splint 6, like the final split. This is the final architecture. So this is our client. They want to connect to the application. They open the website. Then there is this API gateway. A call is made, and a Lambda function is evoked. When the Lambda function is evoked, it connects to the step function, and the step function, through the step function, you still comes to your timer. And then the timer, it waits, it pauses some time, then it makes a choice whether to send notifications through the email, the SNS or the SMS only. And then I will show you our whisker. Okay, this is our whisk. This is how, when you open our application, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. Then here, like I told you about the time. So here you are going to, we created the email addresses. So here we are going to put the number of seconds, like I told you about the time. So you put the number of seconds that you want the application to pause before it takes you to the choice state. So here our time, we choose 120 seconds. And the message, so you have to give a message. What message do you want? You can choose anything. You can choose anything as a message. And then here you have to give the email address that you wanted the application, the customer to use. And then here you put the verified number, the number that you use at the beginning of the application. So when you put all this information, then you choose if you want to be notified by email only, SMS only, or email and SMS. So when you choose any of those and you click, then you go back to your step function, and then you go to your step machine, and you see, then you click on execution, and you really see this, how the step machine is working and how beautiful it looks like. So that was our last split. And the last stage, what did we do? Like the summary of what we did. So we implemented a fully functional serverless application, and we loaded this HTML, JS 5 from an S3 static hosting website, and we communicated via JS to the API gateway, and we used the API Lambda as backing resource, and we run the state machine passing in the parameters. So what are the parameters? The parameters are those things that I showed you that you can either choose to be sent a notification through email only, SMS only, or email and SMS. So you choose those things, the timing and those ones. Those are the parameters that you choose how you'll be notified. And then, yeah, and the state machine had to send emails, SMS, or both, both. Yeah, so, and then when we finished, we terminated our state machine, and we cleaned our account, because we didn't want a bill from AWS. And we did this project. Yes, we did the project. We enjoyed the project, and it was going on well. But then we had some challenges. We had challenges. Why doing the project? And what challenges did we face? We faced problems. At the beginning, we faced problems using the Jira board. So, you know, the Jira or the Agile method is something that we were like the first people to use it. So we didn't know anything about it, but thanks to our Scrum Master, she was so helpful, and she was there at any time you called her. She will have a one-on-one even with you, and she will walk you through the Jira board, and it was a very good experience, and you know, we are thankful to her. And there was also limited communication on the Jira board. You know, it was our first time using the Jira board. So yeah, normally with the Jira board or the Jira software, what the Jira software is all about is that you, as developers, if you have, you always have to communicate on the Jira board. So if you have a problem and you need a solution, you need to write there, and every other developer has to read what you have written and give you a solution in order for you to continue with your project. But then our communication was limited because sometimes we stayed 1 day, 2 days without going to the Jira board. And then it wasted some time, because if you post a problem and you want a solution, you need somebody to give you that solution for you to continue with your project. And if there is no solution, maybe you waste time. But then, yeah, so that was one of the problems we faced. And sometimes we had connection problems. We cannot underestimate that, because it also drew us back a little bit. Especially we have our colleagues who were in Cameroon. And although in Europe, we also have connection problems, like we just had it some few minutes ago. And yes, that also drew us a little bit back. And this one was really challenging. At the end of our project, we had a very big challenge. We had done everything was working well, but implementing it, the last stage, like for our application to work, the application failed to work. So that was a very big challenge for us, because everything was going on well. We thought everything was going on well, but it was not going well. But this was a challenge, and it was a good lesson for us. We're happy that this happened to us, because it brought us more together as a group, because we try to look for a solution for that. So those were our challenges. And how did we look for solutions, or how did we try to solve them? So for the first challenge on communication on the Jira board, we try to communicate better. Like we decided that if someone sends a message on the Jira board, because with the Jira board you have to log into your computer, or you have to log into the web, to the software or to the website of Jira or something, in order to get to your Jira, to get to your application, or to get to your Jira board. But then with Telegram, you can, in 1 second you can see a message. So we decided that if you send a message on Jira board, maybe you can also communicate on Telegram to let your colleagues or the other developers know that you have sent a message, so that they will be fast to respond to you. And we also agreed that we should frequently visit our Jira board. Of course, if you are working, and that was like our working tool, you cannot go to the farm without a hoe. So we had to visit the Jira board frequently in order to see if we had any messages, or if there were any updates. And on the issue of connection, so sometimes when someone wanted to talk, or if we wanted to solve like a problem and there were connection problems, so we suggested that maybe the person should put off the video and just talk. Yeah, sometimes it helps. Or you disconnect and then connect back, and sometimes it helped. So what just happened with Dr. Vero some few minutes ago, sometimes it helps. And on the last challenging part, where our application didn't want to work, so we, like I already said, it brought us together as a team, because here we saw a first-hand problem, like that was like a problem that you can face in your job site. So it brought us together. We all came together, tried to troubleshoot and to find solutions. And actually, we didn't find a solution for a day. It took us some days to come out with a solution. And we had to go back to stage 3 of our application. We had to start figuring out what didn't happen, what we didn't do, what we didn't edit, what we had to do that we didn't do. So we started from stage 3, stage 4, and then stage 5. But then the first try didn't work. The second try didn't work. So we think maybe during that time, AWS had some issues, or because at the end of the day, nothing much was done, because it was just another S3 bucket that was created and edited that our application worked. So nothing much was added to it for the application to work. So but we are very grateful that at least we came together and we troubleshoot and we learned and we found a solution. And like I said, this is always very, I think for me, it is important sometimes to fail, because sometimes when you fail, you learn your lessons and then you get something out of that failure. Because when this happened, we troubleshoot and we learned other things. We learned so many things. So this was, it was something negative, but it also brought us a positive impact. So that was the end of the stages and the sprints. Thank you very much for listening. If there are any questions, maybe we are going to ask them after Elvis, because we want Elvis to implement the 5th stage. If Elvis is available. Elvis, are you there?
5 on 5.
Okay, fine. Then I'll stop sharing and then maybe you share your screen, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm coming back after Elvis has implemented the stage.
Thank you very much, Madam Yvonne, for the presentation. Thank you for actually capturing the detailed stages of our serverless application. So right away, I'll be sharing my screen. So I'm going to be walking us through another interesting slot of the presentation. I'll be doing a real-time demo of our serverless application. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. So as Madam Yvonne explained earlier, this is the state machine workflow. And this is actually the back end of our application. And this is the front end of our application. So what I'll be doing is actually imputing some information in the front end of our application. Then I'll walk you through the back end of our application so that you see the logs, you see the executions, and you actually see what is happening real time. So our serverless application actually starts with a timer. And here is a timer here. So I'll just move to the placeholder of the timer. I'll use 60 seconds in order not to keep us waiting for long. From the timer, we move to the choice state. Here, users have to make a preference. You can either choose email only, SMS only, or you choose email and SMS. So in this case, I would like us to start with the email only. So I'm going to impute a little message here. Take a look at our serverless project. That's a simple message. Okay, so actually this is one of the emails that we verified at the start of our project. It's already filled in here. So coming back here, we have moved here. So we have chosen the email only. Now, before clicking on the email button, the email only button, let me go back to the back end and show you. This is actually our state machine. This is actually our state machine. So I'm going to refresh, as I lastly did the execution early this morning. So once I click on the email only, I'm going to move back to this back end and refresh so that you see what is actually happening real time. So let me just go through the information, 60 seconds, then we have a message. This is one of the emails. So I'll click on this. So to prove that it has actually invoked our state machine, you see a message here, submitted, but check the result below. And then you see status success here below. So let me quickly go back to our back end, and then I'll refresh this. So you see it's running. It shows that it is running. So let me open this log in another tab. Just give me a while. Connection seems to be slow. Okay, this is our state machine. So it is still at the level of the timer. Once the time elapses, once 60 seconds elapses, it will move to the choice state. From the choice state, it will jump over to the email only state. So let's just give, yeah. So you see it has, after the 60 seconds elapsed, it moved to the choice state. It has moved to the email only, and now it is on the next state. So let me go back to the log section. Once it is succeeded, this running will change to status success. So let me refresh and let's see. Succeeded. So actually, if I go back to my email, I'm going to see a message. Yeah, so delivery status notification from Amazon. Actually, the message came in this format. I discovered for the past few days, when I try to test the application, I'm having this failed message from Amazon, but actually it's not coming from our application. It's a problem with Amazon email delivery service. So this actually a proof that the application is working, because if you come back to the logs, it shows success. And now, if you don't mind, I can still give another try here. This time around, I'll take email and I'll also add one of the phone numbers that I verified. So I'll choose the prior state, that's email and SMS. So I'll click here, and I'll come back to the back end. I'll refresh the logs. So it's running. It shows that it's running here. So let me open the state machine. The state machine is loading. Okay, this is our state machine. So it's still at the level of the timer. Once 60 seconds goes to an end, you move to the choice state. And now, since I choose the parallel state, it's going to come to email and SMS. Then from there, you move to the next state. And then this state machine will stop. So the 60 seconds is still counting down. Let's just give a while. Once the countdown is over, you move to create. So now it has moved to the email and SMS. And now it has moved to the next stage. If I go back to the logs and try to refresh, it was running at this level. So let's refresh and see. It shows success. Therefore, email and SMS has been sent to the users. So actually, this is what I had to present with regard to the real life demo of the application. So that is it. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Over to you, Madam Yvonne.
Thank you very much, Elvis. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the visual presentation of the application. It's really beautiful when you see how it's working. So, Elvis, can you stop sharing? Let me.
Okay, let me stop.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to get it to the end. So we are here. So we would like to thank you for listening to us and your kind attention. And we would like to ask if there are any questions.
Right. Thank you very much, Yvonne, and thanks the entire team of Serverless. So I think at this point, yeah, comments and questions, but I'm sure we should give, I know many of you let's give a hands, I don't know, some clapping, maybe you knock your decks, we'll hear. Just come off camera, let's clap for Team Serverless for a job well done.
So wonderful.
Great. Yeah.
So wonderful presentation.
Great. Yeah. So maybe we should take some comments. I don't know what our community leads and then of course team leader and lead instructor have to say about this. But please just feel free to come in if you have a comment to make, and we encourage others to have questions in regards to this serverless application.
Please feel free to talk, feel free to ask questions.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I am really so much touched with this kind of presentation. And then looking at people like Yvonne, for instance, Vero, who are coming from a non-tech background to get this hands-on, focus and come up with such a project, to me, it's so touching. So I am really, really happy to see this. And I know it's going to help us a lot as we move forward. It's so motivating, and I hope many, many people are going to jump in and, get really, really practicals in what we are learning. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. We appreciate. Thank you.
Community lead, Lady T.
Thank you.
What's your take?
I'm still taking it in.
I know.
I know, right? Okay. So we are waiting. When you are ready, come in. Yeah.
I think
basically
Suleiman's hand is up.
Right. Suleiman, nice. Come in, please. Yeah, that's true.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, please.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you very much, the team, for the presentation and for the hard work. It's very good. I actually missed some parts, so I don't know if you have answered these already. I just want to know the timing parts, like, is it like the time it takes to run the whole function? Because I remember you said you put 120 minutes. I don't know what that timing is for.
Yeah, 60 seconds, right? It was 60 seconds you meant.
Yeah, I think you try with 60 seconds.
Yeah, so,
So what do we need that part for?
So when you want to connect to the application and you want the your state machine, you want is a time for the state machine to send notifications, like to choose one of the paths to send notifications to, like the execution of your state machine. When you saw Elvis, when Elvis put it at the timer stage, it waited there for 60 seconds before those notifications, then it chooses how the notification is going to be sent. So the timing is a time for the notification to be sent.
Yeah, and so just to add to what Yvonne has said, so it's the time that the Lambda function, yeah, runs, because it's the Lambda function that is providing the compute at the back end. So the Lambda function will run 120 seconds or 60 seconds to execute the action, which is sending emails or SMS to the client.
Okay. So is it possible that it just, if I don't put it as a user, is it possible that I know Lambda can run for 15 minutes max. Like it just run normally, then it send it to the user. But we must always put the time, estimate some time there. How does it work?
Yeah,
Sorry, Suleiman.
Suleiman, can you
Suleiman,
repeat your question?
Yes, I said, is it possible? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Good. Is it possible that we don't write any time there from the user and it just run, of course, if it is still within 15 minutes for Lambda to run, is it possible, or as a user, we always have to put the time if we want to use the step function? I have not really used it before, so I don't know.
You need to put on, Yvonne showed, like if you don't put anything, no choice, nothing happens, right? So it needs that to make the choice of whether to send SMS only or SNS only or both.
I think the question is on the timer. If you don't put 60 seconds or 120.
Yeah, it's on the timer itself.
Yeah, so the question is on the timer. I think, is it like a compulsory value that we need to have, or we can create that without the timer? Maybe that's something that can be tested, but I think that understanding Suleiman's question, can we?
Yes, exactly. That's what I want to know. Because, you know, in like general application we use, you just go to the website, then you put your information, that they send you some email or something, either immediately or it come later. So I was just thinking, like, can I implement something like that also with this, or I must always use this timing function from the user?
We can try and see, but my gut feeling is that you need to put the timer to execute.
Okay.
Yeah, like Dr. Vero said, maybe we can try and see, but the way they made this application, you have to put the timer for it to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Again, it's using Lambda to run. I don't know. Maybe Ban can help here. Can you run a Lambda without putting time?
If I may add there. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
If I may chip in, I think we know that Lambda takes is it 15 seconds to work
15 minutes.
or to implement an instruction or something like that.
15 minutes.
So with that,
15 minutes or 15 seconds?
15 minutes.
15 minutes or 15 seconds.
Yes, 15 minutes max.
Okay, forgive me for that. Now, so if we have that in mind, could we run this service without putting the timer, just knowing that it takes this amount of time to accomplish the mission? Is it possible to ignore that phase? You know, bearing in mind is the maximum time it may take.
Yeah.
Elvis, can you just run it? Let's see. We did do that.
Yeah, I think we can try to break the application.
Yeah,
and see.
actually,
Without the number.
Is it a compulsory field? If you are putting
it's
it as
actually a
parameter,
compulsory field.
work.
I think it is just the design of this application. What you're saying is not impossible. It can be done because we make all this, we write down the code. So, but the design of this application works with that timer.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is the front end of the application, like Elvis said. Before we came to this, there are many files that we have to upload. And before we upload those files, you have to write codes using CloudFormation, and you have to write so many codes. And those codes, you have to put these parameters in the code. So I think if we have to test the application now without the timing, it's not going to, nothing is going to work, because this is how this application was made. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like maybe just a suggestion might be that some decoupling with SQS. So if the message is not delivered, then you can retry it after some time, something like this. So in case you don't want to work with the time.
Can we test it with 0 seconds, please?
a moment, please. Let's not work so much on that time. I think the key question was, let's continue the discussion. The key question was it a compulsory component, right? And as Elvis has explained, with the design, it was a compulsory component. But I think the suggestion and a go ahead is like, okay, can we be able to have it in such a way that it's not compulsory? Yeah, definitely by code, you can always achieve that. So maybe, yeah, the different tests that we have said regarding the timer, I think maybe Elvis, if you are able to test that now, that's fine. And then maybe give feedback if you find something, but let's still leave it open to have more comments or thoughts so that at least we don't just get hooked up with just one phase of it. Yeah, that's okay, right? So let's open up more for more views or more comments while Elvis is doing some tests in the background, and maybe share feedback to us later. Yeah, so more comments and views, please.
Yvonne, in terms of cost, can you give us a rough estimate of how much it took to build and deploy the application?
Actually, we used, like Dr. Vero already said, we used Lady Ann's account because she's a community builder and she's having some free credits. So thanks to her, we were able to use her account. But then it didn't, I don't think there was any cost. But for me, it costed me some cents because we implemented it on the main account and on our account. It costed me like 45 cents, on which I've forgotten the service that they built,
API.
I think it was an API, yeah. So yeah, it costed me that amount, but I think it's because when I finished, I didn't clean my account immediately. Maybe if I finished and I cleaned my account immediately, maybe I shouldn't have had that cost. I cleaned my account like after 2 weeks. Yeah, so I don't think there is so much cost in it.
Okay, even with the Jira software, is it free?
The Jira software is free. It's a free software.
Okay.
Yeah, and we didn't do much. Yeah, so yeah, I think we were limited on the Jira software. We could only do what we were supposed to do, like communicating, but there were some things that only the product owner had to do. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Barry, are you there to just say something on the Jira board? I don't know, Barry, if you are still there. If not, I come in. Where's Barry?
But I think the Jira software is a free software.
Okay, Barry is not there. Yeah, so there is the trial period with limited for when you use the Jira board, it has 10. The free trial can take at least 10 developers, which was enough for that team. And then, yeah, there are some functionalities that are not available, but what we had on the Jira for the free trial was good enough, Yolanda, yeah, for developers to work and coordinate, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
about the cost, I can say something quickly.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Yes, I was about to say that, for example, if you want to simulate, let's say 100 million requests or 1 million requests, AWS has this calculator.aws. You can simulate all these resources that is being used based on the number of requests, since it's serverless. So in case you want to decide to build it in Power, that could be another way to check the cost.
That is the pricing calculator, right? To check that. Is that the one you are meaning, Elvis? Yeah. To simulate and get the cost, to estimate how much it will cost for this application. I think, Elvis, I don't know. Are you referring to a pricing calculator? That's what comes to my mind.
Yes, this calculator website for AWS.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that was a good question, Yolanda. I think yeah, determining the cost, that is definitely possible. Another way is if all the resources are maybe tagged and then looked at the cost explorer. Also, I think you can be able to determine what costs this can incur. Because even though, yeah, the free account was used, it's just that whatever cost that came in was immediately paid off by that free account. So maybe we can also ask Lady N to see how much is left on her budget. If this was the only thing she was using, maybe from the cost explorer, we could have some kind of, maybe not exact value, but an approximate of what it could cost to have such an application running. Yeah.
I'll check on that. Cool. So let me just use this opportunity to come in, and first of all, I would like to congratulate the whole team. First, because with this, it needs patience, it needs commitment, not only on the project, not only speaking about the presentation now, because at some point I was there firsthand to see how they were working in the team. So the teamwork was wonderful. I mean, I like the team spirit, like during meetings, stand-ups, everyone shared their issues, and even in the chat, there's some point I saw in the chat how they were helping each other. There was one error that they were trying to troubleshoot. So a big kudos to Team Serverless. I really, really like the work you put through. I mean, the commitment, and it speaks a lot. I mean, so congratulations. And just seeing how all of us are growing in this cloud, it's very, very good to see. It's very motivational. So kudos once more. And
Thank you very much, Lady N. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Amasa, I've got a question, if I may.
Yeah, Freddie, you're welcome.
Yvonne, good to see you.
Thank you, Freddie.
Yeah, 1 year ahead. That's superb.
Yeah, you ran away from us, right?
It's good news. I've come back.
Yeah.
And let me see how I can recharge and make something out of this.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you very much for the presentation, and congratulations for the hard work you've done in the background and to come and talk to us. And it all looks so easy and straightforward, whereas it was a piece of nightmare to the team. But you saw the light at the end of the tunnel and you went through and got there. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, my question follows. The project was delivered to you and you broke it up into fractions or stages, and you chose your different line of commitments, and you had to execute and then collate this into something that you've presented to us. Now I'm just asking whether by the time you made your choices on what sections you would take, did you like go back to do some research, or how did you guys arrive at the choice on what section of this project you would take?
Do you mean the state machines, Freddie?
Yeah, people work in different sections. Like you started off, you see, people had their own accounts and stuff. They specialize in different things, and then you came and pulled everything together.
Hello everyone.
Let me
I'm
step
sorry,
in a
I
bit.
stepped out.
Yeah. So let me, Freddie, let me step in. And if you were there at the beginning, I explained that each one of us, we implemented each stage of the project in our own account.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a general account where each one was then tasked to implement a stage, depending on what stage you were tasked to. And the reason for implementing it in that project account was for us to, have everything together that we are presenting to you today. Because at some point, of course, when I present it in my own account, I should then be able to present in the project account. And once we've implemented each stage in the project account, we consider that the sprint was now done, meaning at least each of us are at the same level now with that stage. So, and to come back to your question again, yes, we did do some reading. Remember at our sprint 1, we were doing some reading before really starting the next sprint. So our sprint 1 was reviewing the documentation. We had videos, we had instructions. We had to figure out how to draw the architecture. For some people used other software to do it. For example, I did it using Draw.io. And it was really just nice to be able to put the architecture together. And there's something that I didn't mention at the beginning. This project is built many projects. So it's not like we came up with the project. So we were basing it on Adrian's mini project and using the instructions from there to implement. Yeah. So does it answer your question?
Yes, I think it does, because I was thinking like, okay, you had this section, go and work on this section. You have this section, go and work on this section. Or I am choosing this section, I will work on this. You will choose that and you work on that. And then the choices will end up complementing the whole project.
Yeah. I mean, of course, that's another way that it could have been done. But you see,
Okay,
the project
okay.
was building up from each stage. So it was difficult to assign it that way, stage by stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
please. And just to also add that we choose this approach because we considered it as a learning process. So we didn't want people to specialize in some sections and don't learn another section. So we had to learn everything about the project.
That's good. It does answer my question. Thank you.
Okay.
I think the Scrum Master is here. She was coming in. Barry, are you there? We can hear you.
Yes, good evening, everybody. My network has some issues, so I stepped out for a little bit. I wanted to answer, I don't know.
That was Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie's question. Freddie, what happened is we were executing this project in an agile way, and what agile advises us to do is to allow people to pick the kind of task that they are comfortable with, right? And because of the skills in the team, they were able to assign the job, their task themselves. And this is what this allowed them to be able to do, assure us that everybody has done their task on their own AWS accounts, and for us to know that it is completely done or everybody else understands the stage. It means that one person will have to do it in an account that will be controlled and like everybody can see that one, which was the main AWS account. So if one person has implemented stage 1, it's very normal for the next person to do the same thing. So they are just repeating what they have done on their own in that account for us to know that the whole team has understood the project, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I don't know if there were other questions that needed answers, and I'm sure my team has already answered their questions because I believe that they understood the project, they executed it well, and they actually had really challenges that one would think they would give up on the project, but you see that the hard work, the collaboration, you see how they come up even on days that they are not supposed to have these meetings about the project. You see someone talking to another person in the team and listening to suggestions of what could possibly be wrong and how can we solve this. So that is what we achieved by bringing everyone together and seeing to it that they understood the job, they understood the task, they understood the project, and they understood that one person is not an island in achieving something like this. We all need ideas from everybody, and that is how they were able to successfully implement this from stage 1 to the last stage. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Barry. I hope more people have more comments, and maybe Elvis, you will come up with, if you look on that issue of time where people were interested. But Barry, before you go, you being the Scrum Master for this, I know you have said something. What do you want to just maybe also put in some views on your experience handling this project in that position? Maybe do you want to add more?
Right. Thank you, Banjika Presi. So my experience with Team Serverless has been amazing from day one. I saw people that wanted to learn. I saw people that are open to change. I saw people that want to try out new things. I saw people that are passionate about learning. I saw people that are passionate about changing their careers, and they would do anything to achieve that. So in my position as a Scrum Master, what I contributed was to enable that they have that platform where they're able to communicate about things that they are focused on achieving, giving the team that those regular meetings, and ensuring that they understood why the meetings were being held, ensuring that they have an idea of how to make the meetings productive and what it is going to do for them individually in their learning process and as a team in a whole, was my role. And I think I had support from the team members. Even when I wasn't available, they took on themselves to attend these meetings and make it productive. So for that, I'm very proud of the team. We had difficulties when it came to other team members not being able to make it to the meetings because of one problem or the other, because of other commitments, but they always had a way of communicating with themselves to keep each other updated on what they had done or what they were struggling with. So I would say it has been a pleasure working with Team Serverless. It's still a pleasure because I know we still have many more projects to work together. And I would like to see more people get engaged in adventures like this. It changes your perspective. It boosts your confidence with what you already know. Most of the times when we want to do something or we've read about something, if you have not done it practically, you tend to wonder whether you really know what you know or if you can defend what you think you know. But when you're given yourself this opportunity to demonstrate your knowledge, it comes naturally when you defend it during an interview. So I would say to everybody on the call, do your best to grasp opportunities that come to you through WIrfonCloud. You will not see this anywhere. Thank you, Presi.
Great.
Hello,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Yeah. So
Thank you,
great.
Hello,
Someone is
sir.
coming in.
Yeah.
Is that for
So,
us? Come in, please.
yes, sir. I had a question to ask.
Sure, go ahead.
I will start by really thanking the Team Serverless. It's a wonderful, wonderful presentation we have here. So my question is this. You said at the end of the presentation, at the end of the project, there was a problem, and that problem came as a result of the S3 buckets, maybe a configuration. So you had to go back and you tested and you had to troubleshoot the problem and you succeeded. So my question is this: was there a sprint review in that particular sprint where you were creating the S3 bucket? Was there a sprint review? Because why I'm asking this question is so that when next we are doing, maybe other people are doing something, they can try to troubleshoot it during the sprint review earlier. You know, it really gave you headaches, right? It really gives you headaches. So that was why I was asking if there was a sprint review and if you try to do, if you tested the S3 bucket during that sprint review before at the end of at the end of the project, it just happened the way it happened.
Okay, thank you, Thierry. So yes, like during my presentation, we had every stage and every sprint. And after every sprint, we had a sprint review, actually. But then the project is in such a way that you have to finish stage 1, then you go to stage 2. Stage 1 can be very well, it can be working well. You go to stage 2, it's successful because when you implement something, it tells you that it is successful. But then the next stage is a continuation of the previous stage. So where we had the problem was at the final stage of stage 5. We had created our S3 bucket in stage. Yeah, we created our S3 bucket in stage 5. But then when we had the problem, we went back to stage 3, thinking that the problem was from stage 3. But still then, we don't understand where the problem came from. We still think maybe it was from AWS or something, because maybe Dr. Vero can come here, because nothing big was done. It was just creating another we deleted everything and created another S3 bucket, and everything worked. We didn't use a different method of creating an S3 bucket. It's the same way we created before that we used to create when it worked. So
yeah, so if I can comment a bit with the troubleshooting. So initially, when our application did not work, it was a different problem, right, Mama? It was at this, we could not have it to succeed. That was where you got stuck. And so after that, I came in and I had to clean everything and start from stage 3, really. And so when I got to stage 5, where we were creating the S3 bucket, which is from where the application was going to load, I was having an error message that my S3 bucket is not publicly available. Meanwhile, I had made it publicly available. I went back, checked the code, did everything. I mean, we all trying to see what could be wrong. But our feeling is that maybe there was a bug with Amazon S3 bucket thing. So that was where I gave up. I can say I gave up because I had tried everything. I had deleted the application like 4 times, starting from scratch, starting from even verifying the emails again, really starting stage 1. And then I was stuck at the point where the application could not load from the S3 bucket, and the error message kept coming, stating that the bucket is not publicly available. We went on, Googled, saw that we had the same kind of issues, tried to solve it based on what those people had creating the S3 bucket that was created and created and bucket, and then it worked. That was the same day. I think Jaire came in like 2 or 3 days after. So our feeling is that maybe there was a bug somewhere with the AWS S3 bucket, something, yeah. Because again, Jaire just came in, created another bucket, and then the application worked in the project account. In our personal account, it was working. So again, yeah, we don't know what went wrong with that S3 bucket was creating.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, very.
Terry, did we answer your question?
Yeah, the question was answered. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone. Please, we are coming slowly. We're running out of time. I'm sure Lady T will want to come in. I don't know, before Lady T come in, is there anyone who just have also maybe a comment or a question you have an opportunity. I see all the hands are down. This is the last opportunity before the ET comes in.
Okay, Uncle Van, I just want to say congratulations to this team. I really admire the work that they have done and the fact that they have worked together from these different locations. It takes a lot of dedication and effort to accomplish such a project remotely. So, and also that they've been able to communicate their concept and product to us. And I also saw that most of the things they've done, it's not coming directly just from having the solution architect knowledge. You have to do some research to be able to put these features together, these resources together to make it work. And yeah, I just wanted to take the opportunity to say congratulations and for showing also that you can, besides having the certification, where you can also work as a team. Team spirit is required in every environment, every department, every place that you would work. You'll be working with people. And so to be able to do this at this level shows how you are also prepared for the job market, how much more prepared you are for the job market. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Theo. Thank you.
Great. Remember, Theo is your WIrfonCloud Labs instructor, so he's waiting for all of you every Tuesdays and Thursdays. For those who don't know, that was Theo speaking. And maybe last question for Elvis: did you succeed to try to run the application without time to give feedback to Suleiman? Did you try?
Yes. I actually imputed 0 seconds and nothing worked. I went to the back end of the application, loaded, there were no locks. So just like I said, it's the design of the application. You must impute time on it.
Yeah. Great. So no, thanks for that. And Lady T, go ahead and give your comment.
Kudos to Team Serverless. Please, let's give them a big round of applause once more. So unmute yourself and give them a big round of applause.
You know, Lady T, we need to hear.
In short, I've not heard. I've heard only band. I've heard only band clapping.
I'm clapping away.
Yes. So when people work so hard, I think it's just what satisfying and encouraging for us to acknowledge and recommend, acknowledge and learn from them. You know, the most surprising thing to me is that some of these people, those that have worked, the developers in this team, came from a zero tech background. This shows you what determination and knowing what you want can do. This shows you what being in a favorable atmosphere where learning and sharing is a culture can do to your life. So I want to say thank you to the Serverless team. Thank you to the Scrum Princess. It says Scrum Master, but I want to say the Scrum Princess. Thank you to the project owner, because I'm sure that, and thank you to what title was new? I don't know. The assistant project owner.
Product owner, yeah.
So I want to say a big thank you to you all. Thank you for always inspiring us. This is just making me think of doing something like this. You know, some of us are extroverts. We work when we see people work. So this is very inspiring. And I'm sure that a lot of people here have learned, and they will continue, and they will also get into projects so that they can also come and present to us. Not only presenting to us, so they can build themselves, because just when I listen to Yvonne, listen to Vero, I imagine if you were in an interview scenario and they were asking about the challenges you face, you know, talking about running the project, doing the project to the end, trying to run it, and it is failing, and you're doing all the troubleshooting. I mean, talking about your own role, your participation. Vero even went as far as making it personal. I deleted all the buckets. I did this, I did that. I don't know, but I mean, that tells you that you know what you're talking about, and doing will make you know more. So I'm encouraging each and every one of us to get ready to join the labs, to get ready to join the projects, because it's only by doing that you can comfortably say, I know. If you do it, you can talk about it, then you should nod your head and know that you're going somewhere else. But if you are one of those who say, I know it, but I don't know how to explain it, that means you're still dancing.
Absolutely.
So let's get our hands dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue to work in a team, because they showed you how much team spirit can also play in resolving a problem. Let's cultivate this agile way of working, because it's going to be beneficial to you and also to the team that you're working with. So I just want to say kudos to the team, and we are hoping that next week we are getting ready for the second project. See, some people are already getting enough experience in here. Don't be left out. WIrfonCloud is a cloud haven for us, where everything is made easy, where everything is made possible, where everything is, you can achieve the highest you can go for. Please, let's use it. It's a plea. I'm talking to all of them. I'm talking to myself, because sometimes I need to hear this too. Let's use these opportunities. So thank you very much to the Serverless team. We are hoping that more people will come on board and join the project team, so we can have more successful projects like this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, that's really great job. And thanks for those comments, Lady T. And just a reminder for everyone again, just check the chat. If you want, you can follow us on Facebook. We have a LinkedIn webpage. Yeah, you can know how to follow, how to register to WIrfonCloud. Watch the onboarding session. If you want to join the practitioner challenge, do so now. If you want to join the SSA group, big Lady T or Lady N, make sure you join all of those sessions now. If you have someone you want to recommend, give them the same procedure, right? We always like when people show up on a Saturday, introduce themselves, and then they join the different groups. So everyone is welcome, and thanks to all those who continue to be ambassadors of WIrfonCloud, bringing in people and talking about our initiative. So yeah,
I think before we go, I think some new people joined today. I think it's just better for them to at least say something.
Yes.
I know that we have talked about them. We have talked with them in the beginning, but at least let them say something.
Yeah, sure, Lady T, I agree with you. So maybe if there is anyone here, if this is your first time, don't be shy. Maybe you want to come in and share your experience or view from what you have listened. Zhang is here. I think it was Seka is here. I see Lauren is here. Sandrine is here. All the new faces. I'm not sure James Matuka is new. Feel free to just come up and say what you've witnessed today. Maybe it's inspired you. And just to stress again, remember all these people didn't have a tech background, they joined WIrfonCloud, they didn't have these skills. Today they can do this. And so if you are completely new, this is what can happen if you also committed at WIrfonCloud. So please feel free to come in. We're waiting. Don't be shy. Lady T, maybe they don't like my voice. You should come in and share them. you always do this in a much better way.
No, please, Lauren, can you just at least say something? Say something. Lauren, are you there? I hope you are not one of those who just log in and disappear.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Sally Mbeng. This is not my first time. This is the second time actually.
Okay, Sally. Nice.
Yeah. I was invited here by a friend and I'm logging in from Italy. Actually, I know zero in cloud computing. That's why I'm here to study. And I've been looking for this possibility for me to join a class. And I don't know if I keep missing or I've not been able to get in touch with any of you. So I really want to begin, and listening to the speakers, it really moved my spirit, and I'm happy to be here. And I also want to add that if there's any possibility for me to help, because I'm a Linux, you know, I see Lady T nodding her head already. I know a little bit of Linux, so I can assist in any of the courses if there's any availability. But I'm here to do cloud computing with the WIrfonCloud. So
this is what we like to hear.
Absolutely.
That's all I have for now. So I would like to join the next class. So I don't know when it will be holding, so that I can also talk like the other ladies, Dr. Yvonne. You know.
Don't worry, Sally, you'll get there. Don't worry. Some of us knew nothing, zero. We came in as novice. But today you can see Yvonne talking about serverless, until building an application, testing it, and it's working. So we will get there step by step.
Okay, thank you.
Determination, consistency, focus.
Yeah. That's great. That was
time is up.
Yeah, so
she said about Linux. That's a good thing. Maybe we should talk about this after, or maybe you can contact Ban or myself or you. Let's talk about the Linux after. Yes, sure. Sandrine.
Hey.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Sandrine. I'm logging from Rwanda, Kigali.
Wow.
So I had iCloud from Banjika. So it was my second time to hear about it. So I have zero knowledge about anything about computer, but I'm passionate about it. And I had like someone who doesn't have any background in computer can learn iCloud. And I'm looking forward to join the class and to know what's happening. So it was really good to hear that people who don't have any knowledge did that project. So I was really amazed.
Thank you. What's the time now there?
Yeah.
What's the time now in Rwanda?
We are, it's 10.
10 p.m.
It's same here. Yeah.
It's same with you.
Okay.
Thank
you. Sandrine, thank you for joining us. I assure you, consistency, focus, determination will take you there. Many people join this this community with no cloud knowledge, so yours cannot be different. All you need to know is we will provide you the platform, and it's left for you to study and ask any question. No question is stupid. Ask any question. We have people here who are willing to help. There is Titles, there is Aqua, there is Yolande, there is Dr. Vero, there is Yvonne. Everybody is willing to help. There is New, there is Banjika. So you have all the help that you need, that you can get. So just use it. That's all I can say. And who else?
Thank you.
Who else would like to talk before we go? It's already 8 minutes past 10. Normally we stick to the 2 hours of the program, but I think it's just maybe next time we should just ask these people to say a word, because we want you to feel at home. If you are new here, we want you to feel at home. So we want you to talk. We want people to know you so that we can communicate better. Don't shy out. Don't come and hide your face. Don't come. This is not a place where you are coming to be hiding behind. because you will be forced to do presentations, you'll be forced to talk, you'll be forced to communicate with people. So it's better you start learning it from the beginning. So if there is no other comments or no.
Oh, Salim Beng is on video just to show her face. Thank you, Salim Beng. We can see you there. That's
Lady,
nice.
she has overspoken about the thing.
Yeah, that's what we always want. We see the face. That's great.
That's the spirit. That's my girl. That's the spirit.
Yeah,
Glad to have you on board.
It's okay for the child to talk also. We make this.
So we have WIrfonCloud kids.
Don't
worry, we have cloud kids.
Hello.
Hello, WIrfonCloud kid. Welcome.
It's gone.
So Sally, thank you very much. We are glad to have you. We are glad to have you on board. We are looking forward to share with you and to also learn from you.
Same here. Thank you.
It's a family. Feel at home. There are lots of resources, people who are resourceful that you can tap from. A lot of them. So if I were you, I will make use of those connections. These are the connections that you will not find out there. These are connections to help you grow. So make use of them. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll just appeal also just to add follow-up, Lady T. Please put for most of the people in here, right? Put on your LinkedIn profile on the chat as well. Maybe for those who have not yet joined, or also just share it on the main Telegram forum. And please, if you're on LinkedIn, just go ahead and connect with those people. That's why we are here for, and follow them and make sure you really follow our LinkedIn page. Don't miss the links that have been shared, right? Make sure that you join today. If you've attended and you don't yet have Telegram installed on your system, then maybe reach again out to Lady N and Lady T, right? To have that sorted. But we always are much more grateful when all of that is done this weekend. And then for those who are new, right? So there's a playlist of what we have covered, because all the sessions that we have covered, don't wait for the next session. If you can watch the videos, if you watch one video a day from now, maybe till next weekend, you'll cover all the classes we have had. And then you'll be able to follow the sessions that are still going on. So don't try to postpone it. Try to do that now. Just pick a day and watch a video, and then carry on the sessions. You will also be possible to be ready to take the exam by end of December. Yolanda can tell you, she used a short, coming with no IT background. She also was able to join when we were almost halfway to the program, but she catch up and still pass her exams. So it's still not impossible to join now, even though we already started. Just a tip there for all the new people who are committed and ready to do so. And share the news, right? Bring as Vero is doing, bring your cousins, bring your nephews, just bring everyone. It is our own home here. Please feel free to do so. I think, I don't know if our team lead, Lady N, is still busy at her end, or if she wants to come in so that we slowly close, or any other person from the instructors classes. We are already over time, as Lady T said, maybe. But if there's any of the instructors who wants to come in and say something, please do so.
Akko is there. Lady N. Lady N is there. Lady N.
Yes, so I at the top. Yeah. I think both you and said everything. Just to echo the words again, please register or join the links to the various groups. Join on Saturday that you have that opportunity. During the week, it's quite difficult for us to be at least 2 people in the group. So please remember to join and welcome.
I don't know if I'm the one who cannot hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can barely hear also.
Okay, then I don't know what's wrong, but it's okay. I mean, you can continue. It's better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. No, I was just echoing you and Uncle Banjika's word. Let me just use this opportunity to welcome the new joiners. I saw Sandrine, Lorraine. I'm seeing an Elvin. Welcome to WIrfonCloud, and feel free to reach out to any one of us for questions, for worries. I also send it once more the video to the last onboarding session for you to know a little bit, have a tour of on what's going on with on cloud or what are the courses available. But thank you all for joining, and thank you once more to Team Serverless. I really love the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Lady Anne.
Okay, sorry, Lady T. I see Tio has his hand up, Lady T. Tio is coming in. Tio, you want to say something before we go? We're rounding up.
Okay. I just wanted to remind because we've been going through the labs, and some people were not able to participate because they joined the labs in the middle of the series, and so some of the things that had been done before were needed in subsequent labs, so they were prevented from participating. So I just want to say we are done with the first series of labs, and in the following weeks we will be looking at starting a new set of labs. And therefore, if you want to join the labs or you want to participate in the lab, participate actively, this is the best time to step in again, because yeah, we will be starting doing things that don't require some past activities. And therefore, yeah, I just encourage those who are eligible for joining the lab, please come. You are always welcome. Don't hesitate to participate. There's nothing, some people mentioned to me that they feel that they are too slow. And the way the labs are going, there's nothing like that. You shouldn't be worried about being slow. There are a lot of people in the labs who started at a very slow pace and now they've catch up. We are doing our best to accommodate everyone. So please, I just want to emphasize this is really the best time now to step in again. Otherwise, you might have to wait for another long period, maybe 4 to 6 weeks again before having a chance to join and not have problems of some past session. I also just want to take this opportunity to congratulate Freddie for finally joining the WIrfonCloud last group. Those who have been participating in the lab know what I am talking about. So yeah, I just saw that he joined. So thank you very much.
Nah, I envy the labs people. You people can come here and make jokes and laugh. I see Titus is so also good, all of that. So it must be something fun.
Yes.
Yeah, then just one thing. Thank you very much for that, too. And again, just still appreciating you for the great job you are doing at the labs. And I don't know how this
Tio
entire
is a star. He's a star.
yeah. So we can only keep thanking you for that. Just to say something here. So now, for all those who did this project, right? If you, according to the WIrfonCloud steps, right? There's level 1, which is getting the solutions architect associate certification. Level 2 is doing the labs, and the goal should be have the SysOps certification as demonstration that you don't only have theory, you have the hands-on. Level 3 is doing the project work. Interestingly, most of the people who have done the project, we just started with labs, you don't have level 2. So in the WIrfonCloud lingo, you have finished level 1 and you have finished level 3. I want to encourage everyone who have done the project work, get on the hands-on, be determined, and your focus and goal should be to do the SysOps exams. It will boost your morale. It will make you feel much more confident. So that's my recommendation for you. You have the theory. Go again, do the SysOps exam to strengthen that, and then you have a project work that if you go to an interview, you will prove that this is what you've implemented live. So, but as you are doing this, it's okay to be applying for jobs. Don't wait to do all these steps before you apply for jobs. Be applying for jobs immediately, be getting the experience of going to interviews. If you are along the line, if you get a job, great. We would like to hear your success story. If it doesn't happen, you just keep moving and knowing that, of course, it's going to happen. Everyone has to hammer in this group. Not be so. Everyone don't hammer. Yeah. So yeah, that was just what I had to add to say there. Yeah, it can keep going being fun, but thanks to everyone. Thanks to all of you who make this happen. Thanks to coming up every Saturday. Without you, WIrfonCloud will not be there. So your presence, your desire to pick up what we offer and participate is really, really what's making this possible. And we are very happy now. We have, I'm just so happy. Titus was smiling when Sally mentioned that she has a Linux background. Titus has been chiming this, and I see you're excited. So Sally knows for sure.
I'm surprised Titus has not sent his number already.
I know. Titus will have been asking. So yeah, so it's really great. So the next thing we'll be looking out for is the Python course, right? So we'll be just calling Python. We started calling Linux, and out of a season we had a teacher for Linux. So we'll start saying that we need a Python teacher also. What do you think, Lady T? Very soon so will come that I can teach programming. I think that's what we'll be doing, because all these skills just strengthen the knowledge of our members and make them much more cloud ready and cloud hired. So wonderful, and thanks for everyone. So let's leave it here and enjoy the weekend. Come back on Monday for the practitioners, and the SAA come back on Wednesday and Thursday. Next week, we'll be listening to team side to side presenting their own project. So there's going to be another interesting session. And after that, we'll surely hear another success story, and you will know what that will be. So thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Lady T, WIrfonCloud anthem. Where is
Thank
it?
you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Right.
You should make a song too.